And we're back. Man, I tried to put up some Vinegar Syndrome titles, but they don't really show. I should have put them more to the left and the right, I guess. Oops. We are here. This is it. Time is counting down. We are T minus 40 minutes away from the big halfway. Man, I've been talking a lot today. Halfway to Black Friday sale from Vinegar Syndrome. And also, importantly this time, OCN distribution. There are a lot of partner label titles that are all going to be on sale. And just like my man Eric says in the chat, let the carnage begin. What's going on, Ken? Glad you're here. I saw you in the last chat as well. Glad you can make it. John says, buckle up. Yeah, buckle up is right. Video Man hello, how we doing? What's going on, Scolder? There is a lot to cover tonight. So now that everybody is like ready, let's go into some stock counts. Let's go into any questions that you have remaining on the sale. Let's bring up some other things, like, for example, let me see which one I can share. Oh, it didn't load all the way. Let me share this tab with everybody. It's not going to be perfect, but there is a web archive version of the site from May 2nd that we can share to go through some of these if you would like. But there is so much out there. King Dingling is saying, I'm going to get caught up on the partner labels. The hard part is there are so damn many. And what's crazy is they are selling so quickly. I mean, the stuff that just got announced this month, a lot of it is really damn close to selling out already. Video Man says, is any of the titles announced except Thriller, Clock, and Miami? Any hints? Anything? So we have Thriller coming out, which is her name is One Eye. We've got Miami Connection coming in 4K. We've got Cloak and Dagger. That's what Clock meant there. And that is the VSU title. Beyond that, we also have the return of the Drive-In collection. It's going to be a double feature of Horror High and Stanley, and it's going to be in Blu-ray, not in DVD. But then we got other stuff. We've got 2 mystery titles coming from Vinegar Syndrome. We do have a lot of hints on those. A lot of people think they have one nailed down. The other one seems to be up in the air. I'm not really sold on what that second one is yet. There's some big guesses, but a few of them I don't really see happening. We'll see. But then the other thing, we also have 2 VSAs coming, and we don't know anything about those. So we're gonna see what can come from those. Sardis is here and watching on the big screen. Man, I feel fortunate. What's going on, Antoine? Dead Sea Life says, sup dude, ready for this? Man, it's going to be a fun night. I always love these. Madman says, let's get ready to rumble. Video Manon, I hope that answered that. If you have any other things, let's go into it. Some people think that they have that first title down. We'll see. I'm pretty sure that everybody's right on that one. And Eric says, this sale marks the 1-year anniversary of my awareness of Vinegar Syndrome, thanks to me. That's awesome. I'm so glad that you're here, Eric. It's been a fun year, and it seems to be bigger than last year, which makes it the biggest year for Vinegar Syndrome yet, I think. Do you all agree? I feel like this is much bigger than it has been. Obviously, a couple years ago, I thought had been like the pinnacle of Vinegar Syndrome when they were releasing Blood Harvest and Mausoleum and let's see, that one right there, Incubus. They were just knocking it out of the park, and it's been an interesting time because it feels like they're getting bigger, which is wild. Video Man says it's morning here already, and I've been up all night waiting. Yikes! That is dedication. That is dedication. King Dingling says I pretty much sit back and grab anything that's 1,000 or under on partner labels, and then keep track of everything with slips so I don't miss out. That's a lot. And Jeff, Sardis has some Vinegar Syndrome titles. Remember, he loves anything sci-fi. So like Alien Private Eye, he definitely got. Dead Sea Life says, this is my first sale with Vinegar Syndrome. Whoa, congrats. Only got into it in December. I'm going to subscribe for the second half tonight. Man, congrats. That's a huge, huge decision. And it's, believe me, it's going to feel like a lot to drop at once. And that price tag is probably going to be a little bit of sticker shock tonight. But keep in mind, it is going to be worth it after a while. You're going to get discounts on all the VSUs, VSPs, VSAs, all of the partner labels for the rest of the year. Subscribing is a big help. Big help for sure. Trauma says, it's so great to see physical media being shown so much love. And man, there are so many other YouTubers out there streaming tonight. So it is a big deal. It is a big deal for me, for Master Chaos, for Aaron Pinn, for Michael Keene. Everybody out there, it seems to be celebrating tonight, and I love that stuff. Dude says, did I have a live stream last year? Can't remember. The channel technically started last April. I did not live stream in May, primarily because I was on Aaron Pinn's channel with him. I've been with him for the last couple of Vinegar Syndrome sales, and this year the community has grown enough that I think it's enough for me to spend with all of you guys myself. So I did not stream on this channel. It's been a wild year of growth on this channel, and I have all of you to thank. So I appreciate you being here. Appreciate the support for me, for physical media, for Vinegar Syndrome, for partner labels. All of this means a lot more than you could possibly know. One of the reasons I do this, and this just happens to be the day this was released, so I'll give a plug to one of my favorite podcasts. They Live by Film. Chris was on the channel recently, and we've had him on the channel a couple times. But today, They Live by Film put out an episode featuring yours truly. Chris interviewed me, and they shared a lot of deep info, and I got pretty vulnerable. So if you're curious why I do a lot of this, it is for the community. And that podcast episode really dives into why. I appreciate it, and it is fantastic. I appreciate all you guys being here. Let's see. Video Manon says, I pre-ordered 6 partner labels plus the 5 titles as part of my sub, and I put €250 to buy it. Dang. Nice. Dude says, be awesome if you and Aaron and others live stream this together on all your channels. Yeah, it's hard to do that on all channels at once because you got to be able to log into the YouTube accounts. So like sharing passwords and stuff like that gets a little odd. How quick do you think those 400 plus alley cats to go? Probably not as quick as you think. What was the release date for Alley Cat? That was last May, correct? Let me see. Alley Cat. Yeah, that came out May 28th of 2021. So that was already on sale last November. I don't see that being one that goes super quick. With there being 400 left, Paul, I see that being one that you could probably get, 10 minutes deep into the sale. Honestly, it'll probably still be there for a few hours. I'm just going to say, hey, if you really want it, I would get it sooner than later, but I don't think it's one that you're going to have to log in, put in your cart, and check out immediately for Alley Cat. I don't see it going super quick because it was on sale in November. Let's see. Jeff says, I'm related to Jordy from Creepshow. One of the reasons I love Creepshow so much is because Stephen King had my same last name, spelled the same, pronounced the right way, and everything. I even have a Creepshow rain slicker that I got from Creepy Co. And it has Jordy Verrill on the back, and I love that damn jacket. Let's see. Mitchell says, glad I got Ilya Muromets. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Before this. So that is a good reason to share. Let me share this other tab. So this is straight out of my Discord, which if you don't know, Discord is another community that you can get as part of my Patreon, which the link for that is in the description below. If you are in the second or third tier for Patreon, we can get you into our Discord, and through here we have discussions on out-of-print titles, things I find elsewhere online that are at a really good discount, things that were out of print that for some reason somebody's selling cheap. I've helped people find some of their grails and helped some private sellers reach some of the people in my Discord so they could get something they've been looking for a long time. So if that sounds interesting to you, Make sure you go to that link and sign up for this tonight. But one of the reasons that I'm sharing this is because I have all of the stock numbers for what was in stock on Monday before before the site went down. Let's see. Trauma says one of the best nights of the year beats Christmas, Thanksgiving, and St. Swithin's Day all in one. Man, I can agree with that. I was telling people earlier, I don't have to wake up early for this. I have to stay up late. I'd much rather stay up late than wake up early. So let's share some of these numbers. The most likely to go quickly is Beauty Day from Circle Collective. I've got that one right here. This is a partner label title. This one will not be on sale, but with only 49 left, it will likely go quickly. Altered Innocence Volume 1 has 93 left, and that one should be on sale. So that is going to go out very quickly. Fade to Black has 132 left. That is the B cover that is in stock. The first one has already gone out of print. So that one, it's going to be on sale for the first time since last November. But if there's a lot of people that haven't bought it yet, it might go quickly. Dave is asking, how is stock on Alley Cat? It's got around 400. I think we'll get to that one in just a second. Excuse me. If you notice, a lot of these are partner label titles. So Love and Saucers from TerraVision, 158. That one will not be on sale. Ham on Rye from Factory 25. That one, let me see. What was the release date on Ham on Rye? So that was it looks like a February title. So that one is probably not going to be on sale. This is the first year the Vinegar Syndrome stuff has gone back to January. Stuff released prior to February. In previous sales, they would have been February and previous would have been on sale. So that's a big change for this time. And it looks like it's going to be what they're going for moving forward. And that puts them more in line with Severin, because Severin usually goes back 6 months. Aberration is asking, so labels like Culture Shock or Saturn's Core will also be on sale, right? Anything that was a partner label title released before February. So Culture Shock, I believe, started in January. If I remember right, I think it was January. And this was their first title, Girlfriend from Hell. Highly recommend this one. But if that one is still in stock with the slipcover, that one will probably go quickly. Yes, anything released before February will be on sale from the partner labels and from Vinegar Syndrome. After Ham on Rye, we got Heavy Trip that has less than 200. Rancho Deluxe with 199. Sound and Fury from Altered Innocence. That's getting really low. Now this one from Altered Innocence, The Islands of Jan Gonzalez and You in the Night. That's a very new title, and it's down to 249 already. Other Music from Factory 25 is at 253. Ilya Muromets. This is like the big talk of the town right now. So this is the fantasy film that came, I keep saying Siberia. I think that's where it came from. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me. This was just released, and it had 2,000 slipcovers, and they are already down to 274. I don't see this one lasting even 10 minutes. This one is going very, very quickly. Next one up is the VSA title, Grave Secrets. Oh, look at that. Dead Sea Life got Ilya in the mail today. I am jealous. I've not got mine because it's coming with my next subscriber package, and I can't wait to watch that. Oh, Nathan. Nathan says, thanks again for having me on tonight. Had to set an alarm now, thanks to all of you. Nathan, you're the man. Thanks for coming on tonight. You made it so much fun, man. The one I talked about with Nathan just a little while ago, Martha, A Picture Story from Utopia. Highly recommend that one, and it will be on sale. That one's down to $335. Donnie's Bar Mitzvah from Circle Collective. That was their first title. That one will be on sale. That one's down to $384. Then we got High School Fantasies hovering just over $400. The AGFA Horror Trailer Show. Really solid release from AGFA. Great one. Maddie, what's going on? Hey, Ryan, what's up? Not buying tonight, but here to talk a little bit and encourage others to spend their money. You're an enabler, just like me. I love it. Let's see what's left. We got Pals from Altered Innocence. That's already down to $419. LA Plays Itself from Altered Innocence. There's a lot of Altered Innocence that might be going out of print quickly tonight. Not out of print entirely, just the slip, obviously. Sometimes Aunt Martha Does Dreadful Things. That one's from AGFA. That one's getting really low. And then Hypnosis, another Altered Innocence title that's getting really low. Creastone from Utopia, and then Nightmare Weekend. That was one of the catalog slips. That one is getting just under 500. And now here's the next batch here. We got Shatter Dead from Saturn's Core, and Quiet City Dance Party USA from Circle Collective, Green Jello Sucks Live from ETR Media. Yes, and I was about to reiterate that. Thanks, King Dingling. These are only the slipcovers that are going to be leaving out of print. The titles themselves, none of these that I'm saying are strictly limited. They are all going to be available in a standard edition. What's going on, Jenny? I'm looking forward to pre-ordering, stocking up on AGFA titles tonight, and Tough Guys Don't Dance. Really great release of Tough Guys. It looks fantastic. I think you're going to like it. If you haven't seen it before, you're really going to like that. Green Jello Sucks Live and Shatter Dead. So those are two labels that I had on the channel recently for interviews, and those are two that I highly recommend. Green Jello Sucks Live is a very interesting one. It's a very unique story, and if you haven't seen it, I think it'll be in most people's interest lane in some ways. You might not love the music, but it's a really good film. Jeremy Long, famous comedian that I get to meet in person next week. He says, got to have those slipcovers. Any opinions on WNUF, the Halloween special? I think that's another one I've got right next to me. Maybe I don't. Oh, yep, there it is. The WNUF Halloween special is, to keep using those words, it is special. It is a very unique title. It is one that is made to look like it was made decades ago, but it was literally made in the 2010s, and it is, in my opinion, in agreement with King Dingling, it is a must-own title. It is inorganic nostalgia, is the way I'll say it. It is so interesting, the way that they did it, and it's one that I highly recommend. And for those of you that are fans of WNUF, let me throw out another title that is not going to be in the sale tonight, but one, since there's so many people watching tonight, I highly, highly suggest looking up from another label called Dead Vision Productions. It is another title called, let me pull it up real quick. I can't remember the full name because it is a long name. Dead Visions Productions. It is one that it was just recently made, and I had the director on the channel previously. Okay, here it is. It is called Uncle Sleezo's Toxic and Terrifying TV Hour, and it is very similar to WNUF, the Halloween special. If you like that, strongly suggest checking that one out. It is so much fun. Oh, man. So many people loving WNUF in the chat. What is the dollar amount for free shipping, or will it be disabled? Free shipping is disabled unless you pre-ordered previously. And that's why I always suggest doing the flash pre-order if you are not a subscriber. That way you can get free shipping during the sale. Saves you some money. If you're getting those titles anyways, it'll actually save you some money there because they're cheaper as well. How do I feel about their follow-ups to WNUF? I got to be honest, I've not been able to get to them yet. I did hear that they are starting production on a second WNUF Halloween special, something like that. Jeremy Long says, I once opened for Green Jello like a decade and a half ago. Dang, really great guys. Love the documentary. That's awesome. Jenny says, oof, need to get WNUF. My husband picked up the vinyl from TerraVision. Yes. And again, support TerraVision. Brad Henderson is involved in TerraVision now. He also works for Vinegar Syndrome, and I think you're going to like it, Jenny. Let's see. Anthony is getting Flesh for Frankenstein UHD tonight. Very nice. That's such a great release. I'm so glad they did that. How does their shipping work? So that depends on what that means. So the order that they are doing these are going to be subscribers first, then the people who made the flash pre-order, and then everyone else. Now, they bring in people to help them during the sale times. So it used to be some people didn't get their packages for like 6 weeks, and that time is much shorter now. You should get it pretty quick, within a couple weeks. Oh, that's true. Tom says, don't forget you get $20 off a half-year subscription if you pre-order during the flash sale pre-order time. And then if you do subscribe, you will get another coupon code at the end of the year to subscribe next year. And if you are a full year subscriber, you'll get another coupon code at the end of the year. And it's not insignificant. It's like I think last year was a $60 coupon, which is quite a bit to take off. What's going on, Chris? A friend of the channel, Chris Ekanoa. Do you think it's possible small amount of previous out-of-stock VSA titles show up, hoping for LA Wars? I mean, it's possible, but in past sales, when that did happen, they were sure to announce it beforehand. So when you are on the site, let me see if this is loading now. It is. Okay, so let me share my other tab. I'm gonna take this one down for now. I'm gonna stop sharing that screen. We'll go back to it. I actually have the Vinegar Syndrome site from the archive version open right now. Hopefully you can see this. It didn't load all the way, but the best way to check for those out of stock VSA titles showing up is when you go on releases and then go down to limited edition still in stock. And then if you're looking for like the oldest possible one, you just go to the oldest page. Some of those that were in stock, or some of those that were out of stock, they will now show up in that little sub menu. It's a little clunky to get to, but it's the fastest way. What's going on, Cam? Stephanie Crawford is here. Stephanie Crawford, what's going on? I have no idea how much I'm going to spend. Yeah, that's always the worry with some of these. Let's see. Did you see the awesome packaging for Cloak and Dagger? Man, it is exactly like I was saying for Cloak and Dagger. So a lot of people did not like the artwork that we got presented during the Flash pre-order, and I was trying to explain, listen, it is made to look like the cabinet of an old arcade machine, and they confirmed that with that picture they shared tonight, and it looks incredible. I cannot wait to see that in hand, and it's a VSU. So, let's see. Where is... I've got... here's one. Again, I don't know how I have all of these right within arm's reach. It's a VSU, so we're getting a nice thick box here, like the Beastmaster. The whole magnetic clasp opens up. You got the book and the slipcover inside. These releases are ridiculous. This is going to be the definitive release of Cloak and Dagger. So if you like that movie, or if you've ever wanted to see it, or you're into that idea, I highly suggest getting it. And on top of that, it's kind of a kids movie. It's made for kids, but it's a pretty mean-spirited film. It's one that a lot of people, if you've never seen it, you're probably going to like it. It's pretty well made. Nope, Brian, you did not make it in time. The sale's over. You missed everything. Sorry. Brian, another friend I meet in person next week. Let's get back to some of those stock counts. Brian says Cloak and Dagger is fantastic. I agree. I think everybody is going to like that. And some of these that are getting closer that I would keep an eye on. For Mad Men Only from Utopia, that one is getting a little low. It's at 557, but this is going to be that first time that this is on sale. And again, I mentioned it in the stream just about an hour ago. Utopia, legitimately one of the best partner labels that we have. They put some incredible work into their releases, and it's great. Pat Driscoll said, watch the Criterion 4K of the Red Shoes. Perfect appetizer to buy some sleeves. That's what I'm talking about. That's awesome. Girlfriend from Hell from Culture Shock. I just showed that one. This movie is so much damn fun. It plays like a perfect late 80s film. It is well made. It is one I'd never seen before, and I'm so glad I got this from Culture Shock. 560 left. I highly recommend that one. One that not a lot of people have talked about. Another one with 560 left. Kid Candidate from Gunpowder and Sky. That is a documentary about a gentleman that ran for city council in Texas. And he was, I think he's 22 or 3 in the movie. And it is a really good story. It is one that really showed me how much that local politics is very similar to national politics, just on a smaller scale. Sandro says, what is the best way to buy during the sale? The phone app, the website? I got to be honest, I've not been too hot on the phone app. It's been a little clunky. I suggest the website. This is not like other companies where usually when they have the sale and the website is up, it doesn't really go down. They are able to, keep everything up and running. They've been preparing for this for years. A few years ago, there was a little bit of hiccups when they went live on some of these sales, but that hasn't happened since, 2017 probably, or 2018, somewhere around there. Let's see. Maximus says, I wasn't lying about Tremors 4K. I'm glad you got it in. Glad you watched it. It is, I have a poster for Tremors on the wall right now. It is that important of a movie for me. I love Tremors, and that Arrow release looks ridiculously good. The previous Blu-ray release for that film was not great. I'd certainly suggest the 4K for anybody that is looking at Tremors. Brian says, a lot of Saturn's core is low. Yes. And I had Ross on the channel. Highly recommend Saturn's core. They do some great stuff. Stephanie also says, I swear by using the website and lots of tabs. Tabs work really well. One hint I will give right now, if you've never done this before, go to vschecklist.com. If you've used the checklist before, you can get all of the items that you want. Maybe there's some that's low on stock. If they were released by Vinegar Syndrome, the partner labels are not on a checklist yet, though they did confirm they are working on one. The checklist will take you right to the item page. So if you want, you can open up tabs and have the URL ready to go the moment the site goes live. It's one of the best ways to do that. Cam says, I recommend the website with the second window open on the side with your checklist. That way you keep track of what you buy. Nice. That's a good tip. Oh, geez. Rest in peace, Fred Ward. Rest in peace, Fred Ward. That's true. And Ray Liotta. John, what's going on? Eric, we have surpassed 100 live viewers. I'm glad everybody's here tonight, man. I love these sales. These are great. I think I missed yeah, here we are. Thoughts on Satan's Blood. First off, I had somebody ask me this week, and he's in the chat, so I won't call him out. But Satan's Blood, that is not the same film. Or wait, am I thinking of Satan's Slave? I'm confusing myself. Satan's Blood is decent. It is one that is pretty well made. It is not one that gets talked about a lot. That's the hardest part. Let's see. For Mad Men Only Kid candidate, Rebels of the Neon God. I think I have that one next to me as well. Maybe not. Oh, there it is. So Rebels of the Neon God was the first release from this label, and that is Big World Pictures. This was a title that people wanted on Blu-ray for a long time because the DVD had gone out of print and it was hard to find. Now we have this on Blu-ray and it looks incredible. If you have ever wanted that or have ever looked into it, Big World Pictures did a great job with this release. Good stuff. Yes, Brighton, Satan's Slave was the one I was trying to spit out there, but I certainly confused myself. There's been a lot of talking today. Taylor says he found that to be a pleasant surprise. Nice. Any other recommendations? Please put them in the chat. You guys are doing great. Love those. Let's see. Arabato from Altered Innocence is one that people have been clamoring for, and I think that one's probably going to go pretty quickly. Let's move this down just a little bit. Alley Cat VSA, like we talked about, at $5.93. There's that WNUF Halloween special at $6.14. Again, this is the first time that's been on sale. I'm betting that is going to sell out, and probably fairly quickly. The films of Rudy Ray Moore. We talked about this in the last stream, but I highly suggest those films. If you don't have any of them, that box set is the best way to go. A lot of people swear by Dolomite, and as you saw in the chat earlier, if you were here, every single one of those 4 films has been somebody else's favorite, and that really shows the quality of a box set like that. I tend to lean towards P.D. Wheatstraw, but really all of them are just very well made, very different films. That's the big thing about that is it's a great set. Perfect Strangers, that's another good one. Agfa's She Freak. This is the first time that's going to be on sale, and I think that is a must own. I got to be honest. If you have ever dabbled in Agfa or you are really looking for important films, She Freak is one that everybody should have. It is really well made. It is important and it looks great. It looks so much better than I expected. I highly suggest that. David is asking, where am I seeing this list? I have this list in my Discord. I'm sharing this because I got the stock counts on Monday before the sale, on Monday before the site went down. So if you want to be a part of the Discord, the link is in the description for the Patreon. And if you get the second or third tier of the Patreon, you get access to my Discord. And we've got a community where we talk about films, we talk about out-of-print titles, we find on sale, on other sites. There's all kinds of things to talk about in the Discord. We'd love to have you. So yeah, check out that link if you're into it. Drop Dead Fred is under 1,000 already. The Last Matinee from Darkstar. This is the one that was also released by Arrow Video in the UK. This is The Last Matinee. Really, really great stuff. There's a lot of really good effects in that film, and it doesn't hold back. This is the first time that one is on sale as well, and I think people that are like really into horror would like The Last Matinee. Shiva Baby is one of your favorites. It's one of mine as well. The tension in that film is like no other, and it is. I've got it displayed somewhere behind me. I think it might be my favorite partner label release so far. Matthew Shields, hey man, it's been a while. Glad you're here. Let's see. Jenny says there's life before Petey Wheatstraw and after Petey Wheatstraw, but either way, you are not the same. Guys, we are getting down to like 9 minutes now. Maximus says we talk way too much about a Serbian film on the Discord. If you ask John, we do not talk about a Serbian film enough. All American Murder from Mike James. He says that's so much fun. We are showing that down to 857. It's a Christopher Walken title. Put out by Vinegar Syndrome, and it has some of the most unique dialogue you will ever find. I'm really, really dying to look at the script for that film. I want to know how much was on the paper, how much was made up on the spot, and how much was just Christopher Walken just being Christopher Walken. That movie is wild. The Tiger Claws trilogy, the VSA, is already down to 863. The Severed Arm, I think that one is severely underrated. That one is down to 886, and it took forever to get to being under 1,000. But this is the bottom of the list for things that are going out of print. And the last one on here that I'll really highlight is this one. Primetime Panic from Fun City Editions. With 942 left, I'm not sure how long that's going to go until it sells out. But I think that it is one that you really should give a look if you haven't. And again, this is the first time it's going to be on sale. It should probably be about $40. Let me see if I can pull up what the MSRP is. It helps having the archive page of Vinegar Syndrome open right now. Hey, Lissa, you made it. Any two guesses to what the two new VSAs might be? Here's the hard thing. I know one of the VSAs, so I don't want to say too much. I also know one of the secret titles. Anybody in the chat, if you want to share what you think that they are, go right ahead. Cam says, how many copies of Treasure of the Ninja? Let me put a Control F in there and see if I can find it. It is near the top, I believe. Oops. I was trying not to show any of those usernames, but let me find the next one. So Treasure of the Ninja has 544 left. 544. That's been a while. So the Primetime Panic. The MSRP on that one is $84.98, which means tonight it will be down to $42.49, which is a steal of a price for that release. I mean, it's 3 great films, and it is in a hard box, and it's from Fun City Editions, who I think is absolutely the most consistent partner label so far. Viper says, does VS allow you to edit your order throughout the weekend? No, they do not. You may be able to email them, but honestly, I would suggest not doing that. I would just really try to keep a list going. Please try to not email them, because they're going to be a lot busier than you think over this weekend. These are always crazy. What's going on, Brian? Matt, yes, this is all in the Discord. I've got the stock updates in there. Everything is in the Discord. And again, Patreon link is in the description below if you want to join that Discord. All right, I'm going to stop sharing that screen, and we are going to open the actual Vinegar Syndrome site, because it is about to be time. We've got about 5 minutes left. John says, is stiff competition going to last? Yes, it absolutely should. Tom, yeah, something like this. I was able to have them switch out Spooky Slip B for Slip A couple years ago. The only thing I will caution with that is, honestly, since Spookies has come out, they've kind of exploded in popularity. And that's crazy, because when Spookies came out, they were already pretty dang big. But they are just massive now. Sean, what's going on? Glad you're here. Glad you were able to wake up for us. I know you've been super busy lately. Let's see. Asking about stiff competition. How many did that have? Of course, I go to type stiff competition and I type in stuff. Stiff competition. Yeah, it's not even on the under 1,000 list. So I think you're going to be just fine on stiff competition. And a lot of people are not shopping for those adult titles anymore. It seems the fan base for Vinegar Syndrome has really changed from those that were also into the adult and exploitation to primarily exploitation and horror, which is odd, especially considering how much they really solidified in the adult scene at the very beginning. Peter Thompson, how's everyone doing tonight? I'm doing good. How you doing, Peter? This is when we start really ramping up here. We are down to about 3.5 minutes. And all of our answers are going to come out. Now, the big question. We haven't talked about any of the mystery titles. Anybody have any guesses? We know that we are getting 2 mystery titles and 2 VSAs. What's going on, Quiet Rob? Ready to get some Vincent goodness? Nice. Excited, EI Mag. So yeah, we got 2 mystery titles that are going to be coming from the Vinegar Syndrome line, 2 VSA titles coming as well. I'm curious if both of those are going to stick to their action side that they've been in for the last, most of the VSAs have been action for quite some time now. The Grave was probably the last one. Well, I guess Wolfpack wasn't super action. Oh man, Timothy Holmes says it's 5 a.m. in the UK. Hope it's worth it. I mean, that's debatable. It depends on what you're going for, I guess. Yes, this is about when everybody starts obsessively hitting F5. Righting wrongs. That's food for thought's guess. John says hopefully Cat 3. It would be interesting if they started releasing a Cat 3 title at every sale. I don't think that that's going to be happening tonight. Juan is asking Hong Kong release for the mystery title. As far as I'm aware, I don't think we're getting a Hong Kong release for the mystery title. It could be for the VSA. I don't see that for the Vinegar Syndrome time. Peter, don't forget, it is 12:01, not just 12. Justin is hoping for Scared to Death and Voyage of the Rock Aliens. I'm pretty sure at least one of those is correct. We got probably another 90 seconds here. And remember, if it comes up for you and I'm not seeing it yet, let me know. It's always worth it for the company itself. I agree there. Flickering Wave says he agrees with Justin's guess. Interesting, interesting. What if it's the Jess Franco? I honestly think we're going to get that later in the year. Cardona Collection Volume 2, I don't think we're getting that right now. I do still hope that's coming. Not necessarily because I love those films, but because, I mean, we got Volume 1. It would be odd to not get a Volume 2. It's still very, very unfortunate that one of the members of the family passed away during the production. Let's see. Justin said, I think they said the Franco would be included in the halfway sub. Yes. That's why I think it'll be September or October. And we are just about to go live. Everybody start refreshing finally. I'm showing 12:01, and here we are. All right, so we got Scared to Death and Voyage of the Rock Aliens. Look at that. That was right on. Now, Horror High and Stanley, and the slipcover is actually bringing back the drive-in branding. Look at that. As for the VSAs, we are getting Red Surf and Expect No Mercy, another Jalal Mary and Billy Blanks title. I definitely saw that coming. As for our catalog slips, we got The Bees. That's a nice art piece. Then we got Hobgoblins, which we all kind of knew was coming. And then a Taboo 1 through 4 box set. That is awesome. All kinds of new merch here. And then New York Ninja 35mm trailer they are selling. There is a Flesh for Frankenstein 3D Viewmaster reel. They're selling their Viewmaster again. Miami Connection vinyl is available again. Psychos in Love blood-splattered variant. Some VHS available. Tammy and the T-Rex Punk Vacation. Soundtrack cassette for Miami Connection. The Scary of 61st. They also have a 35mm trailer for that. They are selling their Vinegar Syndrome display rack again. Scared to Death, the paperback book. Some new enamel pins. Titan Find paperback book. Man, there is a lot of stuff here. This is a pretty solid lineup from them. And that Taboo box is one that I certainly saw coming. I'm kind of shocked that they're putting that out during a non-adult sale title. But you guys nailed it. I am so glad that so many people are going to be happy with these, especially Scared to Death. That's one that people have wanted for a lot of time. The Bees. This is one that if you don't have it yet, highly, highly recommend it. And then Hobgoblins. This is not a great film, but it's definitely a fun film. And this slipcover is great. It really fits the tone of the film. I love that. The box set, though. I mean, this is a really great price, too. Box with all 3 Blu-rays, and it's $55. If you're into the adult stuff or not into the adult stuff, I think there's probably something in here that you would find to like, at least. It is a nice set. Let's take a look at these mystery titles first. We got Scared to Death. Victims of the Killer's Kiss. They were scared to death. Here's the back of the slip. And I'm not going to go too deep into some of these, just in case. Pictures look great. That is a good-looking one. This is or was one of the 2 secret VS releases. Yearly subscribers, you automatically receive this. If you flash pre-ordered everything, this is in your package. We are seeing... this was directed by William Malone, the same guy that did Creature. Ted Lonergan thought he had quit the force to pursue a career as a writer, but when someone or something begins stalking and viciously killing the residents of Los Angeles, Ted is asked to lend his expertise in uncovering the mystery assailant. However, things aren't as simple as they appear, as Ted discovers that the predator he's after is in fact a first of its kind and a rapidly evolving, genetically mutated organism known as the Syngener. I think it's how you say it. Enlisting the help of Sherry Carpenter, a scientist specializing in genetics, the unlikely duo start tracking the tedious mutant in the hope of destroying it before the body count continues to rise, or even worse, before it breeds. This is the first feature made by William Malone. This is a 2-disc region-free set. We've got a commentary track with William Malone and actor Bryce Kermit Eller and Diana Davidson. And man, this is the kind of thing that makes me love Vinegar Syndrome. Brand new making of documentary featuring interviews with the writer, director, actor, actress, makeup supervisor, effects artist, another actor, and an actress. That's amazing. The Locations of Scared to Death, a featurette revisiting the locations with William Malone, and alternate cut and presentation of Scared to Death. They went all out on this. I mean, a 2 Blu-ray release for this is a pretty big thing for them. That's fantastic. Let's see. Stephanie says the B's got a slipcover. Yeah, it's nice. JB says, boom, nab fade to black with a slip. Nice, nice. Can't believe no Thriller merch. That's true. Anthony says, Buster Keaton limited edition slip is gone. Standard is flying quickly. Scolder, going to work. Have a good night, my friend. So what does everybody think? Is everybody happy with this? I didn't even look at that. The price of the halfway sub is exactly in line with what I had said. It is $515. I said it was probably going to be between $500 and $550. Sometimes there are other hints in here. Let's take a look at these. Wait till you see what else is in store. This July, we're proudly presenting Michael and Roberta Finley's legendary Bigfoot horror, Shriek of the Mutilated, on Blue for the first time and fully uncensored from a new 4K. Plus, we're dipping our toes into Jess Franco's vast filmography with the Blu-ray debut of the Red Lips films Kiss Me Monster and 2 Undercover Angels, both exclusively restored from their 35mm negatives. Wow. And to round out the month, we're bringing the Cynthia Rothrock classic Righting Wrongs to Blu-ray, presented in multiple cuts. It's the first of several Hong Kong genre picks. What we have in store for later this year. Our 5th Forgotten Jolly set will be unveiled in August, along with the 4K Blu-ray debut of a studio-owned 70s drive-in horror classic. In September, we'll be unveiling the World 4K UHD debut of an iconic 70s horror film, along with world Blu-ray debuts of a couple 80s deep cuts. And then in Texas, we're going all out and presenting Tobe Hooper's The Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 on 4K, alongside a diverse trio of horror gems, including Euro classics from the 70s and 80s, and another major 4K upgrade. Wow. Guys, that is a lot. In November, we're working on another colossal collection of horror and exploitation classics, including our 2nd installment in the Homegrown Horror series, featuring Moonstalker, plus 2 other deep-cut slashers, along with 4 other major gets, among them several Blu-ray and 4K debuts. It's sure to be a whirlwind of cinematic delights. Jeez. That is huge for the subscription. Justin says there is a Thriller shirt and pin. Interesting. Matthew says, I will say after getting the sub back in November, this is the most relaxing sale I've ever taken part in. Yes, you can buy the Taboo box empty if you already have them, of course. Ilya Murametz is just over 100 left. Dang, that is going quickly. If you are into it, I would get that sooner than later. Man, there is some great stuff in here. I'm trying to look at my phone as well so I can see your guys' comments. So we've got Voyage of the Rock Aliens to dive into and 2 VSAs to dive into still, plus all the catalogs. Gosh, there's so much this time. I mean, we've got the Blood Moon variant t-shirt and film reel shirt, New York Ninja shirt, Thriller shirt, some enamel pins, Flesh for Frankenstein 3D Viewmaster reel, the trailer 35mm prints. Interesting. All right, let's open up some more of these things. Let's go into Voyage of the Rock Aliens. So this is the one that people were questioning if we were getting it or not. The story of a guy, a girl, and an alien, and the one night they will always remember. Again, their restoration work is always incredible. I have never seen this, but this looks amazing. So this says the special limited edition embossed slipcover is limited to 5,000 units. A group of aliens in a guitar-shaped spaceship are on the hunt to find the true source of rock and roll. After spotting teenage Dee Dee and her boyfriend Frankie, each of whom are vying to become the top rocker in the small town of Spielberg. Interesting name there. The aliens land only to set off an increasingly strange series of events and musical mayhem that threatens the very existence of the town itself. Wow. So this has Embarking on a Voyage, the making of an alien dance rock opera. Again, with the extended making of documentary featuring interviews with actor Michael Berryman. Nice. Executive producer Max Keller, producer Michelin Keller, wardrobe assistant, co-screenwriter and co-producer, special effects artist, and miniatures artist. Wow, they got a lot of people involved on that. And I love some of the miniatures work from that time. Extended featurette with members of the band Rima. That is awesome. This looks like a great release as well. Is everybody happy with these? Matt wants to get a 35mm reel. I would suggest New York Ninja myself. Taylor got Severed Arm and Ilya. Nice. Pia Sedora is always a must-buy, says Stephanie. Somehow it got missed, but Inspector Ike has just over 200 already. Wow. A couple of those vinyls already sold out as you were checking out. Jeez, that is quick. Dude McMahon says, wow, I have Punk Vacation on VHS already, but I doubt I could get $30 out of it. What were the other VHS down here? So Punk Vacation, New York Ninja in widescreen VHS, and then Tammy and the T-Rex, The Last Drive-In. And some of these, look at that. That Tammy and the T-Rex sold out immediately. Punk Vacation only has 42 left. New York Ninja has 175. Scared to Death paperback at 18, already out of stock. Wow. Titan Find, that one's out of stock as well. Jeez, some of these things, man, they go out of print quick. I bet those can be got elsewhere, though, those books. The Psychos in Love blood-splattered variant, that is gone already. Wow, that's a nice-looking vinyl, too. New York Ninja picture disc variant, there's 172 left of those. Oh, it's a Ninja Star, and oh, wow, that's nice. That's very nice. Miami Connection vinyl soundtrack is back at 246. And these 35mm trailers, $95, and there's only 153 left in stock. Interesting. Nice little collector's box on that. Oh my gosh, look at this. They are putting catalog numbers on the 35mm trailers now. Girlfriend from Hell is 1749, but Death Collector is 26. Death Collector came out after January, Couch. Only titles released in January or prior are getting discounts. That's why. Maximus got 12 titles. Probably the hardest I've gone on a sale. Nice. Jay Weems got Ticks, Dead Heat, and Fade to Black. Very nice. Factory 25, any good? That is the partner label. It depends on what title you're looking at. They did other music. You'd probably like that one, Matt. Yeah, I highly suggest if you don't have a 35mm projector, don't start buying a bunch of 35mm trailer reels. Tammy and the T-Rex was available on VHS, and it sold out pretty much immediately, Cam. I'm sure you didn't want that. Doesn't seem like your thing. Let's go into our first VSA. We got Red Surf. This is, let's see. This has 5,000 units, and this is starring George Clooney. That's right, the George Clooney. Remar and Attila are best friends living in California. They spend their days surfing, partying, and running drugs for a ruthless gangster named Calavera. After finding out his girlfriend is pregnant, Remar must choose between living life in the fast lane or settling down to take care of his family. Struggling to come to terms with his new future, Remar decides to set up one last big score before retiring from his life of crime. However, things get complicated for him and Attila when one of their crew betrays them. Now, Remar and Attila have to figure out how to make it out alive before Calavera tracks them down and literally feeds them to the wolves. Let's take a look at this art. Nice cover on there. We got George up in the top left. Here is the back. Oh, man. He is young and babyface there. We got some jet ski action going on. Nice. This is starring Gene Simmons with George Clooney. He is featured right there in the center, of course. Commentary track with the producer, interview with Greg H. Sims, who is the producer, interview with actress Dee Dee Pfeiffer, an interview with casting director Ronnie Yeskel. And that is what's on there. This is restored in 4K. That's a good release. That's one of the better VSAs for quite some time. Ilya Muromets has already sold out of the slipcover. Wow. Flickering Waves got in Other Music, Inspector Ike, and Ilya Muromets. Nice. Bubba said, I added all the movies wanted on the iOS app wish list, but the wish list isn't there now. Any ideas? Again, I don't use the app. Has anybody else used it and can help Bubba at all? I tried it once and did not like the layout, so I've been sticking to the website, sadly. USNA 98 says Voyage of the Rock Aliens is a guilty pleasure. Music is legit good. Again, there are no guilty pleasures. Keep that in mind. If you like it, you like it. Nothing wrong with that. Death Row Game Show has to get a slip in November. Completely agree, Matt. It's time. Maximus says Android app ran nice and smooth throughout, even messed up and forgot a tile and had to make a new order. Interesting. EI Mag says Order In got Nothing Underneath, Too Beautiful to Die. Good double feature. Steel and Lace, Auntie Lee's Meat Pies, and Psychos in Love. Very nice. Fade to Black slip already sold out. The standard edition is under 200 copies. Wow. That went faster than I expected, I gotta be honest. What about this second VSA? We got Jalal Mary and Billy Blanks again, which I gotta be honest, I'm not too excited about, but that's a face that I know and recognize. That is Laurie Holden. She is from The Walking Dead. Fantastic. I may actually like this one a little more. I think she's good at what she does. This, yeah, they must have gotten a big package deal on these Jalal Mary titles. So this one says, Expect No Mercy is part of the VSA line, and it has, how many copies? 5,000 units. Justin Vanier, played by Billy Blanks, is a highly trained and deadly agent for an elite police force known as the Federal Security Bureau. After a fellow undercover agent turns up dead, Justin is recruited to infiltrate a high-tech martial arts training facility known as the Virtual Arts Academy, where students are trained in combat situations using virtual reality. Oh man, and this is from 1995. Wow. Once inside the facility, Justin is to make contact with another undercover agent named Eric, played by Jalal Mary, like we said, who believes that the academy is really a front for a team of hired assassins run by their power-hungry leader, Warbeck. With fear of their covers getting blown, Justin and Eric must face off with computer-generated opponents. Oh gosh. In a series of simulated fights that have real-life consequences. This is newly scanned and restored in 4K from the OCN. Commentary track with Jalal Mary. Commentary track with the director, Zale Dalen. Interview with Billy Blanks and Jalal Mary. Interview with the director. Interview with Anthony DeLongis. And then, interesting, Expect No Mercy, the video game. There's a trailer, intro, and playthrough for the Windows 3.1 video game based on the movie. What a unique special feature. That is fantastic. Let's see. Nerd of the 80s says, help me out, The Lamp or Rancho Deluxe? I would suggest Rancho Deluxe, personally. I think it's a better film. What is the word on Videophobia? I think you would like it, Jeff. It is a really good, solid release, and they've been doing great work as a partner label there. Mitchell says, I would have bought a Billy Blanks box set, and this is where I agree. They have released so many. Put them out in a box set. Completely agree there. Just wanted to note, no standard titles got added to the going out of print portion of the limited edition selection. Very nice. Where can we see the stock counts? Sandro, if they are under 1,000, it will be on each of the product pages. EI Mag says, I first saw Laurie Holden in The Majestic. She is great. She's genuinely a really good actor. Tom says, I'm picking up Buddies based on my recommendation. Thanks, Tom. I think that most everybody should watch that film. It is depressing. I will warn you about that, but it is worth it. Dude is picking up the Penitentiary movies and the third Jamal Fanako title. It's a VS double feature. I believe that's Welcome Home, Charles and Emma May. Those are really great. Shallow Grave with Slip or the Grave VSA. I suggest Shallow Grave. I think Shallow Grave is underrated. It is a great title. Taylor says, thanks for the recommendations and covering of the sale. Thank you for watching. I appreciate that. Picked up Buddies, Incubus, and Sudden Fury. I mean, I've got two of those behind me right now because they are so good. Matthew Shields, I'm very impressed with the B slipcover because that movie's a stinker. It's not, it's not amazing, but I like it. Josh says, I'm down to one left to buy, Terminal Island or Psycho Cop Returns. So I strongly suggest Terminal Island. I think Terminal Island is a very underrated film. It's on 4K. It looks amazing. It is one of the better made movies put out by Vinegar Syndrome, and it is in a release that probably is better than it ever should have looked. It's fantastic. Zach Bryant says, was able to get Ilya Muromets before the slip ran out. Sadly, all I'm getting the sale. Hey, you got the one you wanted. That's great. Dial code Santa Claus or Christmas Evil. Okay, so with this one, do you want something that is more of a horror title, or do you want something that is more of a, a lot of people say it's like a Home Alone ripoff with some like thriller elements to it. I think they're both great films, but personally, I prefer Christmas Evil over Dial Code Santa. Oh, man, everybody is saying Terminal Island on those two. Terminal Island is one of my fave VS releases. Exactly. Great release. And then the B slipcover. Let's look at this artwork. That is it again. Really impressive artwork for that movie. Oh, that is great. Like it's on the camera. Fantastic. And again, you can buy the slipcover by itself, and the slipcover alone, $8, exactly like I said. And then Hobgoblins. Let's look at this art. Really fits the release here. The tone of this is great. Oh, they got the golf cart on the back. Nice. I'm into it. And then that Taboo box. How much is the box by itself? $15. I mean, if you're trying to have all of them and you already got the Blu-rays, you're probably going to want that. Interesting. Zach says, can't go wrong with Stephanie Rothman. True. Yeah, Terminal Island is certainly worth it. Ooh, JB's getting more Vern Killar from Fun City. Every single title from theirs is a recommendation for sure. All right, and then we got, again, the ones that we already knew about. Thriller, Cloak and Dagger, Miami Connection, and then Horror High and Stanley. Let's take a look at this one, because we didn't know all the details on this previously. I love that they got the old drive-in art style on this double feature. And then, is that all the art they're showing? Yeah, so we don't know what the wrap is going to look like. Oh, wait, they've got it right here. So here's the Stanley plus Horror High double feature art. And then here is the back of it. And I mean, that's a good solid looking release for bringing the drive-in collection back. And okay, so this is the copy they have for the drive-in collection. In the early 70s, independent filmmakers based in the American South found a fruitful way to make a living in low-budget horror movies destined for the drive-in market. Reveling in lurid and absurd concepts, these films are just as much windows into the cultures which bred them as they are wild rides into the most outlandish areas of exploitation cinema. Vinegar Syndrome's drive-in collection presents these two classics of regional horror together on Blu-ray for the first time. Now remember, if you pre-ordered the flash pre-order, everything, it is in your package, and yearly subs, you will automatically receive this release. So Horror High is from 73, and Stanley's from 72, and that one's done by William Griffey. And the extras on here. Horror High is newly scanned in 2K from the only known and fully uncut 16mm lab print. Interesting. Commentary track with the lead actor. Cheerleaders on tap, a brand new interview with that lead actor. Looking back, an archival interview with that actor. Still Amazed, an interview with the screenwriter. An interview with actress Michelle Falerne. Interview with actor John Nyland. Multiple television spots and the trailer. Stanley has a new scan restored in 2K from the OCN. Commentary track with the screenwriter. Wow. Sorry, I said screenwriter. Screenwriter. And then another extensive making of documentary featuring interviews with the cast and crew. Fantastic. Stanley Goes Hollywood, a Q&A from screening at the New Bev that I get to meet, that I get to go see in person next week at the New Bev. Not Stanley, but I'm finally getting to go to the New Bev for the first time. And then Stanley Revisited, a featurette exploring the locations of Stanley with William Graffet. That is a really great release for the drive-in double feature. Matt says they knew what they were doing with numbering those 35s. Yeah, they knew exactly. Sardis. Jesse picked up Voyage of the Rock Aliens Martha, picture story. Nice. LA Plays Itself, the Fred Halstead collection. Rebels of the Neon God, and then The Unknown Man of Shandagore. That's a solid package. Mitchell hopes they continue with the drive-in upgrades. I agree. Jeff, so if I place a second order, they automatically add it to the first. One package, one shipping fee. Yes, if when you are checking out, you choose add to my existing sale order. You have to make that choice. Vinegar Syndrome month ends with a bang. Absolutely. But I actually have one more video on Vinegar Syndrome that's coming out, and I'm getting that out over this weekend, and I hope that you all give it a watch. It is the final video in my series I've been talking about for quite some time, called Boutique Labels That I Collect, and So Should You. Jay Weems says, bummed the scanner cops are not half off. What are they? Because they are, we just finally got a standard release of that one. Interesting. They are not. That's kind of surprising. Huh. So Scanner Cop 1 and 2 and 4K. I guess technically they're calling that a new release because these were not released singly until the last 6 months because the double packet sold out. That's an interesting choice from them. So instead of their MSRP is $44.98, so they would have been $22.49, but instead they're $32.99 each. Yeah, I get why that would not be an easy pill to swallow. That stinks. Interesting. Nerd of the 80s says, Detention, Stiff Competition, Rancho Deluxe, Scream Queen, and Rebels. Nice. That is a strong package, too. Maximus says, Vincent does not start shipping till after the sale ends. Right. Correct. Because if you add more, they want to be able to send it with it. So, yeah, you're not going to be able to get any shipping notice or anything for at least another 5 or 7 days. And that's only if you're a subscriber. Dave got the Forgotten Jolly Volume 4 and Alley Cat. Cam, oh man, that is a great package. Shiva Baby, Alley Cat, Treasure of the Ninja. Oh, you got your treasure. Nice. Candy Snatchers, that's a solid film. Ticks, The Mob, Cain and Abel, Talons, Coca-Cola, Born to Win, Primetime Panic. Nice. Let's see. Chungawunga says, possible hot take. I don't care about slips, so I'm saving a few bucks. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever you like, get what you want. Bo Smith says, thanks for hosting this. You're welcome. Thanks for hanging out. Everyone is so nice. Such a fun idea. Formerly EI Mag. Welcome. You finally reminded me to change the name to something that's meant to be pronounced. I'm glad I could help. Man, Cam has gotten a lot then. Yeah, you've got a couple lists going. Drop Dead Fred, close to $650. Yes, it will probably never go on sale. That slip's going to be gone soon. R. Brooks, I'm just glad Tiger Claws didn't sell out. Glad I got Summer of 84 before the limited. So, yeah, that one sold out quick, too. Any word on Ham on Rye? I've not been able to watch it yet. The people I trust seem to mostly like it. There's a couple that didn't care for it. JB, so Awaken. If you saw me talk about this previously, I will stand by. I think Awaken is the best 4K disc I've ever seen. out of anything. It is such a beautiful picture in that release. Awaken came out from who was it? Was it Utopia or was it Gunpowder and Sky? I don't remember on that one. I get my partner labels mixed up on that title, but yeah, Awaken. Let me pull it up here. So Awaken. Okay, so it was Gunpowder and Sky, and it's $24.99 right now. Let me. I don't know why I stopped sharing that tab. Awaken here. This is $24.99. It's got a limited edition lenticular slipcover still, with more than 1,000 left. This is a ridiculously great 4K title. So they have shots in this film, and I believe there's no nudity or anything. So let me pull this up. Imagine these in full HDR on an OLED screen. If you have the right setup for this, this release looks better than anything I have ever seen. Genuinely, it is that good. Now, keep in mind, you're not going to get like a narrative story or anything like this. This is genuinely just to use as a demo 4K disc. It is so good. And then there are some scenes where they transition from a regular shot to black and white, and it looks incredible. Bradley says, if I become a subscriber, I technically don't need to buy these old releases this weekend because they will be half off the rest of the year for me, right? No, that is a common misconception. So when you become a subscriber, the only things that are half off are the things that are released while you're a subscriber. So these, even if when you are a subscriber and you get your sub code, it will not work on these older partner label titles. And they do have that in place for when you are a subscriber. Any word on the Doris Wishman set? They are unique regional titles that are independent. If you've never seen a Doris Wishman title, I believe one or two of them are still on the Criterion channel to stream. And I think somebody said in the comments the last time we talked about these that one or two was on Tubi. This is one that I highly suggest watching one of them first for Doris Wishman. Doris is a unique filmmaker, and I'm not saying that because she's bad or anything like that. It is one that I definitely suggest you check out because some people, it's kind of like a love or hate creator. Doris Wishman has her fans, though. She did some really important work. So overall, how does everybody feel about this package? I think that we obviously knew the biggest the biggest titles, and we knew that most people knew that Scared to Death was coming. Stephanie Crawford says, I went a little box set crazy, but I'm happy to be caught up on the Forgotten Jolly sets now. Very nice. Stephanie, I just want to say thank you for coming on. I'm always stoked when you're a guest on, Brian's show or anywhere else that you show up. You are always such a positive voice. I appreciate you hanging out. Matt says, if you enjoyed previously released AGFA titles, it'll be for you. And he's talking about Doris Wishman. She falls in line with a lot of those previous titles. Thoughts on Hitcher in the Dark? I was a little underwhelmed by it. I tend to really like Umberto Lenzi, but I was not a huge fan of Hitcher in the Dark. It was a little boring for me. I definitely wanted a little more out of it. Dead Sea Life. This was fun. Anyone need a kidney? I'm selling. I mean, maybe you could trade that around for a couple slipcovers. Trauma says I sold them on Awaken. 13 for the sale. Nice. Chunga Wunga says a bit disappointed in the new announcements, but happy with what I got, so no complaints. Interesting. Thanks, Stephanie. I'm glad I'm doing enough. Will Surf 2 last until the next sale? How many does it have left? I haven't checked on Surf in a while. I don't love Surf 2, I gotta be honest. $18.99, that's a good price, though. Over 1,000 left in stock. Huh. Interesting. I wonder how many. Let's see. I know nothing about it, but seems like it's not something I need to rush to get. Knowing what you like, Matt, you're probably not going to love Surf 2. Mike says the real question is, will the severed arm last until a third sale? When did the severed arm release? Isn't that already long past the third sale? Severed arm. I'm showing a release date for that one. Oh man, it was May 20th. It was May of 2020. So yeah, this is already a fourth sale for the severed arm. The question is, will it make a fifth sale? Which it absolutely should not. The severed arm is underrated, and I think people just don't like the slipcover, which doesn't make much sense to me. It's yellow and it pops, and it's great. Bo says an underrated one is Blades. I was surprised laughing at the movie when I realized a lot of the laughs were intentional. It is good. I mean, it's Jaws with a lawnmower. Peter Thompson says, I spent my budget for the next 2 years. Are the Welcome to VS Essentials sets new, or what do you mean, Welcome to VS Essentials? Welcome to, does that pull it up? Oh, interesting. What in the world? Interesting. So they are bundling some titles together. So that you get Angel, Raw Force, Dolomite, Terminal Island, and Death Promise. Wow. First off, highly suggest all 5 of these if you don't have them. This specially discounted welcome package contains all of these, and it's $116.95. How discounted is this? I wonder how much would it be to get all 5 of these separate. Good eye on that. Good eye, USNA 98. Where were those advertised? That is very interesting. How's Taboo? John, knowing you, you would probably like at least the first one. Death Promise still has over 1,000? How? Death Promise is so good. That theme song alone should be selling slips like crazy. Dead Sea Life. All right. Look at this release. The severed arm is so much better in hand. 5 victims cannot stop him. Cannot escape. Where's the camera? Cannot escape the slashing fury, the sound of terror. So let's talk about the severed arm for a second, which is weird because this is a multiple-year-old title. So the severed arm, while camping, a group of friends become trapped in a cave. Desperate and starving, they draw straws to decide which one should suffer the severing of his arm so that the others can eat. But no sooner than making this fateful amputation, they're rescued. Just like the end of The Mist. Though their unfortunate victim has been driven hopelessly mad by the experience. Years later, the survivors have all moved on with their lives. That is, until someone with a very sharp axe to grind begins stalking them and chopping off their arms one by one. How does that not sound amazing? It is a very long con, and it's great. Newly scanned and restored in 4K. Interview with actor Vince Materano. Cut above the rest. Interview with the producer. And then Stills Gallery. It's a good, solid release. Severed Arm. I strongly suggest everybody get that one. Let's see. Matt Shields says, Duck is in poor taste. Can't convince myself to grab that one. It's an oddity for sure. It's an odd week to talk about that one, so I will keep my mouth shut for now. Stephanie says, love the Severed Arm. Brad told me once that came out. I had to buy it. I'm glad I listened. Super fun Dark Horse title for sure. Maximus also got it. Everybody needs to get it. It is a solid title. I would not be talking it up so much if it wasn't worth it. Let's see. The next Welcome to VS is Essential Slashers. We got Slaughterhouse, Bloodbeat, Ice Cream Man, Don't Go in the Woods Alone, and Madman. And that is the Madman 4K release, and that is $109.95. I mean, that's a pretty solid deal. So let's see. It's probably we're averaging 22 a title, with one of them being a 4K. That's not bad. Especially when Madman came out in February, so that one's technically not on sale. Matt says, I'm watching The Severed Arm and having a beer or two when I get off here. I'm sold. John just sold his uncle Severed Arm and he loved it. Mob Cult, I had to search for that Welcome to VS bundle. It's certainly one that you need to search for. I didn't see it on the homepage. Mike says, I just added up all 5 of those and it costs less on my cart than the package does. Interesting. That's what I was curious about. Tom says it should be called Twist My Arm at this point. Oh, I had no idea. USNA 98 says I have a soft spot for Hitchers. It was filmed in Virginia Beach. Nice. Peter says it looks like the bundles aren't on sale. It does say specially discounted. So I'm curious on that one. See, it says this specially discounted welcome package. Click on a title for the full product listing. Well, I guess I can go price these out real quick. How much are these? Opening in new tab. And this one's going to be different because Madman in 4K is not on sale. So Don't Go is $12.50, then $16.50, so we're up to $29. Another $16.50, that's $39, $45.50, plus 61. 90. Nope. So that's $94 for that package, and they're listing it for $109. So if you buy them separately, it is cheaper. Yeah, that's odd. Justin says, oh, the bundles were up before the sale at these prices. Oh, that's even more odd because I never even saw these up. Interesting. I wonder where they were at on the site. How to get them without searching for them. Yeah, this looks like it's probably not a sale price then. Because that's about, what, $15 more than the sale price? All right, let's take a closer look at Taboo for those of you that might be interested in this box set, since this is the catalog box. So the actual titles, let's go to the first Taboo just so you can see the plot here. When Barbara Spots, played by Kay Parker, husband leaves her, blaming her frigidity for destroying their marriage, she's left alone without a source of income and charged with taking care of their teenage son, Paul. Feeling vulnerable, she turns to her friend Gina, who opens Barbara's eyes to the secret world of suburban swingers. But as erotic tension grows, Barbara begins to fantasize about her handsome son. And of course, this is one of the most significant and controversial X-rated adult films ever, and that's why it's called Taboo. All extras are on both formats here for a region-free Blu-ray and DVD. Scanned and restored in 2K, brand new audio commentary with Kay Parker. That's a big deal. New audio commentary with Helene Terrier. Kay Parker had an archival commentary, and so did Curtis Stevens. And then there's some archival interviews. It's a good, solid release. If you like adult titles, you're probably really going to like all 4 of these, or technically 3 of these for Taboo, and then the Taboo 2 and 3 double feature and Taboo 4. Let's see. Brian got Primetime Martha and the Blood Moon shirt. Very nice. Oliver's 30 minutes of excitement, orders completed. Now what? Still haven't caught up on some older titles, but enough is enough for now. That's why you keep going back throughout the weekend and find what else you may add. Mob Cult, has anyone got information on the April Fool's translucent slip? So we know for a fact that we are getting an actual physical product for that. We don't know when yet. We don't know what it's going to be, but it is going to come eventually this year in 2022. Dead Sea Life says, I gotta say, I don't usually watch commentaries, but the Taboo commentary with Kay Parker is awesome. And Kay Parker has some stories. Dude says, I have to send out some love for Death by Temptation. Yes, to people who are new to Vinegar Syndrome. Very unique horror film, photographed by Spike Lee, cinematographer. Absolutely. And Death by Temptation, the standard release is down to only 326. Bradley, why is Reddit so heavy on trashing Ebola Syndrome? It looks really good. That's because it is really good. It is a great film. If you are into Hong Kong cinema or Cat 3 films, it is fantastic. It has Anthony Wong doing what may be one of his best roles. Obviously, The Untold Story he was awarded heavily for, but Ebola Syndrome is great. A lot of the same plot points are hit in Ebola Syndrome, just like they were in Untold Story. But Ebola Syndrome, I think, is the better film overall. It's a Cat 3 film through and through, though. It is sort of trashy. It's got some odd and taboo elements, but it's an interesting film to watch, especially during a pandemic. It looks great in 4K, has some amazing special features. I highly recommend it. But why is everybody so heavy on trashing it? Probably because there's a little bit of animal cruelty in the beginning. But it was cutting frogs because they were going to cook them and eat them. And because it's, again, sort of a trashy film. That's probably why. Trauma says, I added blades and severed arm. Got to stop listening to the recommendations. Do not. I've used 3 different cards tonight. Oh, man. Don't buy if you don't have the money for them. Absolutely don't. Please, don't go past your limits. I gotta say, this whole Taboo box set that's rotating is very distracting on here. Okay, so we covered all of the catalog boxes and slipcovers and everything. Is there anything that we did not cover? You know, now that I look at it, didn't they say there was going to be 3 catalog slipcovers and a catalog box, or am I misremembering? Rory says, the completist is telling me to get Kid Candidate from Gunpowder and Sky. Is it any good? Have you seen it? I've got it in my main order. So, yes, Kid Candidate is one I've already talked about tonight. I genuinely like it. For a lot of people, it is not one that they love, but I really liked it. I like documentaries about people to find something that they're passionate about, and Kid Candidate is short. It was literally, I think it's like 67 minutes long, and it's so well made, and I just felt such empathy for the person in the story. And it, again, my big thing is it really showed me how much local politics is literally the same as a full-scale nationwide politics. It is so well made. Matt says, I got 15 titles. Wow. Grab the VSAs next month. If you're new and from Central Illinois, SHOT is a must-have. It absolutely is. Made by University of Illinois students in and around the Champaign and Urbana area. Let's see. Nerd says, I have to say, from being a non-sub versus being a sub, I can see the big difference in saving money during the sale. That is very true. Thanks, Dead Sea Life. That makes sense. 3 catalog slips, including our next catalog box. That means I read it wrong. Kid Candidate is 100% worth seeing, but not quite a physical media need for me. And I will say, to agree with Stephanie there, if you are looking for that like really extensive package, you can watch the film and all of the special features in literally less than like an hour and 40 minutes. So there's not a ton on there, but I enjoyed having it, especially because I could watch it while I worked. It's a good film. Cam also got Inspector Ike and Whatever It Takes, just adding to it. Matt says, Bloody Nose Empty Pockets is a good deal at $14.99. Unique film, absolutely. John wants to know what Flip is getting. I guarantee you he's probably getting both VSAs and then really excited for Righting Wrongs with Cynthia Rothrock. Love and Saucers already down to 62. Jeez. Gingerberry, and based on the prices they are showing for the halfway, so glad I did the full year. Prices have gone up. Absolutely. And I think a reason that we can blame for that is the Universal deal and then these other 4Ks that they have coming out and all the Hong Kong titles. I mean, that wasn't even really hinted at in November. This is a big deal. Let's see. Viper says, I had a shopping list prioritizing movies I wanted to watch. That plan's out the window. Now I'm going after titles close to selling out. Anthony says Equation to an Unknown is sold out. I blame Jeremy. Oh, that story is amazing. JB got Fade to Black, Censor, Morvern Kalar, Awaken, Christmas Evil, Shallow Grave, Six String Samurai, Blades, Severed Armed, Sex World, and Raw Force. Out of all those, I think Six String Samurai is probably my least favorite. But either way, great haul overall. Have I seen A Dim Valley? Not yet. It is on my to watch soon list. I really need to. Matt says, I hope the sub price doesn't go over the $1,000. It better not. I want to keep supporting, but that's a lot. Oh, nice. Justin says they have more images on Thriller, Miami Connection, and Cloak and Dagger. Let's look at those. So Thriller. So we've got one of those slip boxes with the side opening. This is the back of the... Whoops. It's animated. It shouldn't be a big deal for YouTube, right? God, that is a striking image. And it's a dual slip release like the Scanner Cop set. Interesting. They've got the Thriller slipcover, and they call her One Eye slipcover. Wow. This is very classic exploitation art. That is fantastic. I don't want to go too far because there is a lot of nudity in this film. First they took her speech, then her sight. When they this is okay. Good. I personally, I don't know if everybody agrees. I adore the art they're using for this. The classic, very 70s heavy exploitation feel. It looks amazing. And then did they finally confirm? Let's see. Original Swedish Thriller, a cruel documentary, 43-minute making of doc, historical commentary track with author and critic Alexandra Heller Nicholas. Very nice. Man, that is great. That is such a strong release. All right, Cloak and Dagger, the VSU. This one, like I said, a lot of people were upset with the art on this, and I couldn't understand it because it very much looks like an old arcade cabinet. Oh, that is perfect. Wow. Look at that. That is amazing. This is going to be such a great release. I love their VSU packaging and all of the different types of art that we get. And this is going to look incredible in 4K. Man, he is so young there. Amazing. And then finally, Miami Connection. Okay, another one. This is the side-loading slip box here. Got the dragon sound back. Oh, they got the classic art on the slip. Good. Very nice. Man, that is going to be... Oh, that looks... Even just from a still frame, it looks so much improved over the old release. That wasn't that great, to be honest. Wow. Wow. It's so hard to resist getting Thriller, but for $50, that is a lot. But there is so much in that package for sure, and it's such a classic title. Snapshot. So Snapshot is a really good film. It has been released by a bunch of different boutiques at this point. It was put out by 88 Films. It was put out by Umbrella. It was put out by Vinegar Syndrome. They look great. Mark asks, will Raw Force restock when the standard sells out, or is that it? It will restock. Absolutely. It is a quintessential Vinegar Syndrome title. It is not going out of print. I agree, Matt. I definitely hit on that. Yeah, that drive-in style is very nice. And actually, I happen to have, like I have everything tonight, a drive-in collection title. You can see how very much similar it looks to this old drive-in collection DVD. Random, but is there a reason why Flesh doesn't have a limited unit number listed? Is it not limited? It is. What does it say? Flesh for Frankenstein. All right, so there is no. I wonder. Previously, let me open up my checklist in a new tab. When they released Rad, there was no number on that page for some reason, and when you go to the checklist, you could find it. But this one also does not have a unit number listed. Very interesting. Yeah, it's not there. JB says, I'm not shopping the sale. I am, but I'm hosting for you guys. So I'm giving, I've already lost out on things I would have bought probably. Hard to pay $45 for Cloak and Dagger. Yes, but it's a VSU. It's going to come with the box. It's going to come in 4K. I get that. And yeah, and honestly, it'll probably be there at the next sale. If you can wait, it should be on sale during the next one. How limited is Miami Connection and Cloak and Dagger? Will these sell out? Do we have numbers on them? Let's see. I think Miami Connection should have a number. It does not. Man, let me check that checklist again. If it's even listed yet. A lot of these times, the new ones are not. But yeah, Miami Connection and Cloak and Dagger are not listed on the checklist, so we can't verify that. Cloak and Dagger does not have a limited number either. I will say the last couple VSUs, they were limited to either 10 or 12,000, and they have all lasted to the next sale. So if you really want to wait, you should be able to wait on at least Cloak and Dagger. Miami Connection was out of print, and a lot of people have been talking about that one, so that might actually go sooner than later. Who knows? Maddie is reminding everybody that the drive-in collection DVDs, like this one, are pretty cheap. They are very cheap. Some of them are less than $10, and there's some really good titles in there. Dude says, speaking of drive-in titles, In Search of Bigfoot is down to 116. Great fun for lovers of the weird 70s faux documentary style. Yeah, and keep in mind that will get restocked eventually, most likely, but it's not most likely, that will get restocked. It's not listed as going out of print, but yeah, if you want it, this is the time to get it. It's never going to be cheaper than this. Cloak and Dagger has an extended making of doc, thinking that'll be close to a feature-length doc, most likely. And that's a huge title for a lot of people. You know, they that grew up in the 80s. So a lot of people grew up on that title. All right. So let's take a look at what is showing us still in stock. Let's go to some of the older pages. Severed Arm is down to 780. That one is still not flying off the shelf. That's crazy. Nightmare Weekend. That one is down to 367. Hangs Upon Nothing from Etiquette. Still at 668. That's crazy. Perfect Strangers. Highly suggest this one. Down to 701. This is directed by Larry Cohen. And if you know anything about Larry Cohen films, it's that you're going to have a lot of fun watching them. Let's see. Matt says, I got 10 drive-in titles for $75 during a sale. Crazy. Mitchell says, there is a lot of drive-in titles I would love to see on Blu-ray. Yes, I agree. And I'm curious if they are going back to the drive-in collection like they did. I'm curious if it's going to actually get any upgrades. Some of the old drive-in titles, these were released. Oops. These were released on a limited Blu-ray, but I would love to see some of these from the drive-in collection come to Blu-ray for everybody. That'd be nice. I love this comment, dude. This is amazing. Larry Cohen is the Spielberg of 42nd Street. Such a talented weirdo he was. And the dude could write and work quickly and cheaply. And man, he was just relied on by so many people. Fantastic. I love Larry Cohen. So many crazy movies. I would love to see some of his stuff get some 4K releases for sure. Let's see. We'll go to page 3 here. I bet some of these are getting low. But Tough Guys Don't Dance, still over 1,000. Terminal Island, still over 1,000. By those ones, they were starting to print a lot more. Alley Cat, that was low, already down to 272. Alien from LA, still over 1,000. Not surprising. Homegrown Horrors Volume 1 still has over 1,000. Nice. Forgotten Jolly Volume 3, still over 1,000 on that one, too. Man, there's a lot. Okay, Death Promise. How is this still over 1,000? Again, should not have to tell you that Death Promise is amazing. So Aberration, I had heard of Voyage of the Rock Aliens. I've never had access to it. I honestly can't wait to have it in stock. I've heard good things. It's going to be a cheesy movie, but I've heard genuinely good things. Couch Odyssey says, God told me to. Great Coen flick, and it's coming to 4K from Blue Underground. Killer's Delight, The Cellar, and All-American Murder. I would second Killer's Delight and All-American Murder for sure. Maddie, have a good night, my friend. All right, everybody. It is an hour past the start of the sale. Is there anything else you'd like a deep dive into or any other late night questions? I've got to wake up in 5 hours to go to work. And I still have to post all the announcements. There is so many incredible titles here. Again, I appreciate everybody hanging out tonight. These sales are always the best time to build these communities. If you have not subscribed, please do. If you are interested, I do have that Patreon link below, or there's always the super chats. And the Patreon is super great. We've got a Discord that if you go on the second or third level, you can come in and join the Discord, and we talk about films. We talk about the sales. We talk about out of stock things that we find elsewhere. They are amazing. The Discord is so much fun. So many people in the chat are a part of it already. It's fantastic. And just like Flickering Wave says, it's just the beginning. We have the weekend too. There's still a lot to go over. And during the last sale, Vinegar Syndrome released a limited edition print halfway through the sale. So you still got to take your time and keep an eye on it. Let's see. Have I seen Midnight Swim or Knocking? I've not heard great things about Midnight Swim, so I've not watched it yet. Knocking, however, highly recommend it. Really, really solidly made flick. I liked it. Let's see. How often do... Whoops, wrong one. How often do subscriber packages come? It is every single month. And every month you get yours before everybody else gets theirs shipped out. It is very much worth it. Trauma says, that's all, folks. Enjoy your purchases. I'm so glad you hung out with us. Thanks for being here, Trauma. Jeff, my man, been up for 20 hours. Good gosh, go to sleep. Sub packages come every month except June and December. Those are partner label months. Yes, but also, if you order during the partner label months, yours will still come first as well. JB, get some rest. Appreciate you guys. All right. Commando Ninja with slipcover is under 200. Crazy. That was put out by Enjoy the Ride Records, and it is great. Bradley asks, how do I add my subscription to my pre-sale bundle at checkout? You can, or you can just check out by itself. It is always able to be bought and with whatever you're getting. You're not getting... when you get the subscriber package, you're getting free shipping for the rest of the year already, so you don't really need to worry about that. Just be able to check out, and you'll be good. You add it to your cart, and then every single month when you're ordering something, or if you want to order partner label titles, you can say, add to my next subscriber package, and it comes for free every month, and it's amazing. Just don't forget to use your promo codes and get some money off. King Dingling says, hit the like button. Appreciate that. Nerd says, glad I'm off Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Dang. On the other hand, I will take this time, since we have so many people watching, I am off starting tomorrow afternoon, and I'm going to California next week. I'll be in Pasadena at Monster Palooza. If anybody else is out there in Southern California and you're going to be at Monster Palooza, make sure you send me a message. Make sure you get me on Instagram or Twitter. We're going to try to meet up with people at Monster Palooza next weekend. I'll be there both Friday and Saturday. And I'm going to the New Bev next week. I'm going to be meeting up with a lot of people from the channel. So anything that, if you're going to be in the area, just say hi. I love hanging out with people that are a part of the community. You guys are fantastic. Matt says free shipping for the year is big, and it really is, because anytime that something looks intriguing or you already have a discount on it and you're a subscriber, it's just you put it in your cart and say send it with my next package. It's awesome. Stephanie, yeah, I can't wait. There's a couple other content creators I'm going to be meeting up with while down there, and going to see the John Waters double feature at the New Bev. I can't wait. Bradley says, look into Brain Dead for movies too, right by the New Bev, and a great spot for film. Interesting. I will add that to the list. Thanks, Bradley. Any last minute questions? Anything I can help with? Anything you want me to dive into? Haven't looked at any of these shirts yet. I like this color scheme too. They always do good shirts. Blood Moon colorway. Got Fortress of America for $14. Nice. I genuinely liked that film. I thought it was a lot of fun. I don't know why I liked it so much, but that was fun. It's much better than other films like Fortress of America. Yes, I definitely need to get to sleep soon. Thanks, Stephanie. On that note, I think I'm going to call it, guys. Thanks for hanging out for the last however long. This has been an incredible night. We still got more stuff coming this weekend on the channel, so if you haven't, make sure you're subscribed. I'll be seeing you soon. And in the meantime, I do want to say thank you to all of the people that are already patrons of the channel. A lot of you are in the chat tonight, and you guys make this community exactly what it is. So I appreciate you. I appreciate everything that you've done to help the channel grow. I appreciate you sharing everything. It's been huge for me. It means the world. We got a couple more of these. 100 says, is the Tiger Claws trilogy any good? It's a really good value. The first one is pretty good. The other two are not nearly as good, but it's still a good trilogy. Marvin says, check out the American Cinematheque. It's already on the list. There's one that I'm eyeing that I think I'm going to go to, but the timing is going to be rough. All right, everybody. I could talk about this all night, but everybody needs some sleep. Thanks for hanging out. If you have any questions, comment below. I respond to every comment, and we'll make it work. Thank you, guys.